We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's.
I am here to discuss the so-called flying saucers. The Air Force interest in this problem has been due to our feeling of an obligation to identify and analyze to the best of our ability anything in the air that may have the possibility of threat or menace to the United States.
Light came right straight over us and stood there, just still, and all at one time it took off and went on with it in another direction.
Roswell, New Mexico, 1947. Known to be the most significant moment in UFO history. It's believed an extraterrestrial ship crashed on a ranch in the desert, and that the U.S. government recovered alien bodies and have been keeping this a secret ever since.
He saw a UFO fall, and he went over to where it was. But they got nearly up to this UFO, but it was close enough to see some creatures, or he said they didn't look like human beings out there.
Aliens are real, right? I've got the scars to prove it.
And they told me to never reveal what I saw to anybody, ever, as long as I live.
Did they threaten you?
Oh no, they were pretty sweet. They took me for ice cream. Yeah, Rocky Road.
And though encounters continue to rise, UFOs are regularly picked up on commercial airline radar, and police departments have been inundated by sighting reports. The government is clinging to its policy of silence.
And then now, you'll find everything you need to expose this cover-up once and for all. It's time people got the facts.
But why?
Because they deserve the truth.
No, I mean, why are the aliens visiting us?
Oh. Wasn't that obvious, boy? They've been coming here for a smooth taste and not menthol Newports. Oh! Damn, did you see that? The whole thing was a commercial. Crazy, man. Work too, because I want to smoke. I was just talking about it, UFOs.
Hey everybody, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Low Budget Show with Damon Millard. I'm Damon Millard. That's right, you joined us for a good one. On today's show, we have stand-up comedian Johnny Beehner.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Johnny Beehner stops by.
I like your hair.
Thanks. I do like that shirt.
How far will we push this sexual tension? Stick around to find out. It's going to be a good one. During our interview, I give you the amazing conclusion to the cytoscopy story. Remember that a couple months ago when blood was coming out of my dick? Do you guys remember that? Do you? You do? Well, I went to the doctor and I did the procedure. So stick around to find out how that went. Also, on today's show, I'll tell you about the blizzard here in New York City. We'll take a little walk around, see the sights, see the cleanup effort, see how the city came together. New York strong. It was like 9/11 part 2. I'll introduce you to the crossing signal with the most personality you've ever met. I swear to God. You're going to have to believe me on some of this, you guys. You cut me a fucking little slack, you know? I'm just doing my best. We got a lot of shit to do, so let's just get right into some of it. Remember, the Low Budget Show is completely free. There are no dues or fees. Just ask that you subscribe, hit the little bell icon, and then tell some friends. You don't have any friends? That's okay. Maybe next time you're getting a lap dance, you can just tell the stripper. Hey, have you heard about the Low Budget Show? I think we have actually a low number of strippers watching this show. I'd like more. Today's Super Bowl Sunday. You guys excited about the Super Bowl? I haven't watched football since the 1980s, so I don't really give a shit. I don't. I used to be more into sports, and I'm not. I used to play Little League Baseball. Well, not really, but my mom thought I did. She gave me money for a uniform that I turned into pot. My biggest excitement for the Super Bowl is this. I got, this is what I called my Super Bowl. I fill it all the way up with chili and cheese and beans and onions, all the good stuff. So right here, this is the only Super Bowl I need. Oh, this just in. And it's a cease and desist letter from the NFL. Get a hold of me. It's Damon at damonmillard.com. Send me a message. Let me know what you've been up to. Have you gotten those car repairs done? Your check engine light's been on for quite a while. I should do it. A little bit of money now saves a lot of money later. That's what I always tell people. How do you guys think this show's going so far? I have doubts. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have my doubts about it. Are we going to make a show out of it? Yes. Are we going to sleep well tonight? No. Not really. I never really do. I had a big snowstorm in New York. How much snow was it? 18 inches, I'm hearing. It felt more like 19 to 30, actually, is what it felt like to me. A lot of snow. We took our dog out. My dog Cindy loves the snow. So we're out in the snow with the dog. Dog was having a lot of fun. It's the first time it snowed this year. I lived in New York City since 2013. I can't remember ever seeing a snowman before, but I saw a bunch this time. I bet I did see a snowman before, but this is probably the first winter I didn't black out for the whole thing. So I did see some snowmen, and in complete Brooklyn fashion, they were made out of garbage. Here's one that was right in front of my family liquor store. It's not owned by a family. I see families in there, and it's smoking. Doesn't this one look like it wants to bum change from you? Authentic New York snowmen for you. So that was fun, and we just walked around. And this was pointed out to me a long time ago. There's this cross signal that when you push it to cross the street, usually it'll say like, wait. But there's a specific one here in Brooklyn that talks to you. There's only one in the whole city. It's got the voice of a Teamster. It's on the corner of Smith and Livingston. When you hit the button, this fucking thick Queens accent dude pops on. Well, just here, have a listen.
Smith Street. Walks on his on to cross Smith Street.
I'd love to know if there's any more, but this one is right in front of the MTA building, so I have a feeling that this was like a test to see if this would be a good idea to have all of the cross signals do that. So I feel like they just like asked a guy who was like working that day, was like, hey, we need to test out this cross signal. Do you mind recording the thing? And he's like, yeah, what do I need to say?
Livingston Street. Walks on his on to cross Livingston Street.
Like, this is the only traffic signal that I've ever been afraid of. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, what do you want to cross the street, queer? Anyway, I think it's neat, and it's so weird that there's only one. That's what blows my mind. Like, why is there only one? If you guys know of any, send me a message. It's Damon at damonmillard.com, Damon at damonmillard.com. Send me a message. Let me know what you've been up to. Did you go sledding at all? You did? How was it? You fuckers didn't invite me. Okay, so what are we going to do next? That's right. It's time for viewer mail. This is where I read the messages that you guys send me. Send me a message and maybe you can be on a future episode. Maybe I'll read it right on the Low Budget Show. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great, guys? Here we go. Okay, so this one comes to us from Mike D, right here in Brooklyn. Mike D writes, Dear Damon, I love all the Easter eggs that you include in the Low Budget Show. This makes the Low Budget Show way fucking better than any other video podcast I've ever seen. I want to murder... All right, slow down, Mike. And then it goes into a little bit about killing people. Oh, right here. So I found the Julia Louis-Dreyfus that was hidden in the sketch in the last episode. Yep, he found her, all right. Do I win anything? Yeah, Mike, you do. You win, I have, this. This is it's a lens cleaner. So you can just, Mike, I'm sending this to you. Do we got any more? Yeah, we do. All right. Okay, cool. There it is. Okay. This one comes from Joanne. This Better not be Joanne from Joanne Fabrics. Oh, fucking. She's always sending me stuff. This comes from Joanne in Minnesota. Joanne writes, Damon, I also found an Easter egg, just like Mike D. from the last letter. Was that Pulp Fiction shirt you were wearing an Easter egg? Kind of like a nod to the Pulp Fiction sketch from the Father's Day episode? You're so right about that, Joanne. And since you found an Easter egg, you get a prize too. $100. $100 for that Easter egg. That's coming to you, Joanne. Look for, I got your address right here, probably. And I really do this. You have no idea how seriously I take this show, and then I do shit like this. I need fucking help. I need some serious help. All right. Let's go see Johnny Beehner.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Low Budget Show. Joining me now is the very funny Johnny Beehner. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. It is going fantastic. Always a pleasure being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. You are actually the first guest I've ever had on more than once.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, you did so good last time. I brought you back.
Well, no, jerking off your dad. That's great.
I missed the sign from last time. That seemed like it took you a while to put together.
I know, don't break my heart, man. I made this huge sign out of cardboard, and I put Christmas lights on it, and I painted it.
So now is it just a digital image that's like looks expensive?
I change it up every week. I don't have
okay.
style. We'll figure it out.
I'm excited to see what it is. You know what? I started a podcast. I'll tell you that. Plug my podcast.
Tell me about it. Plug it.
It's called The Cavalry. It's me and my buddy Andrew Slater, who's a comic in Portland. We bring issues to the table. It's like arguments that we always lose, and we're calling in the cavalry. We need backup, you know?
Yeah.
I think this. I think Snickers is a legit lunch, and my wife says it's not. So then I bring that to the table, and then Andrew's job is to be like, yes, of course it is, and we just talk about it. And, that's just the hook to get us to talk about whatever.
So a podcast built on a solid premise is probably a good start. I probably should have thought of that.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's a gimmick. That's what it is. It's a gimmick.
Well, for everything that COVID stole from live stand-up, podcasts have really flourished. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. We're a prime example, a cliche of like, people that aren't together doing a podcast together.
Yeah.
New ones come out every Monday. The Cavalry.
Cavalry.
Yeah, I don't know what else have I mean, just teaching the kids and trying not to go crazy. I'm trying to write, but I mean, kind of like you said, there's only so much happening. It's
stressed out. Some days I don't put pants on.
Are you wearing pants now? Let me ask you that. Doing.
I like your hair.
Thanks. It's very sexy. So.
How long you been growing that out?
Yeah. I don't know. The end of last year. Like I did a couple cruises last year, and like my hair was in that awkward, weird phase while I did those last few cruises. And now I could actually pull it back once the quarantine started. So I've just been really lazy with it. I see you're going the other route. Yours is very short.
Yeah, I'm going really the other route. I'm going bald.
Nice. Well, that's the new sexy. That's what they say.
They say it's because I have a lot of testosterone. So, I mean,
your hair can't handle it. Yeah.
It's
too much of a man. Oh, you know what I have done? I don't know why I'm bringing this up. It's just interesting because I haven't tried it all. And I'm not bragging, but I've lost probably 30 pounds since the pandemic. And you know what it is? It's from I started running.
Yeah.
Just out of boredom. I've always tried to run, and I always hated it, and it never caught on. But now we live in Madison, and there's so many fun places and just cool places to run. So I started running, but also I can't go to fast food. I would always eat fast food on the road.
Yeah.
And my wife hates fast food, so I can't get it when I'm in town, and I'm not going on the road. So I just am not eating fast food. I think that alone has made my just average, because I wasn't trying to lose weight. I just got on the scale randomly one day, and I was like, holy crap, I've never weighed this much. And then it kept going down, and now it's kind of plateaued, but it's crazy.
Long hair and the losing of the weight, you're going to come out of COVID sexy as fuck.
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna come out looking unhealthy as fuck, like gaunt. Like, oh, did you? Oh, wow, you weren't able to make money, and so you couldn't feed yourself. So now you look like Skeletor with this stringy long hair.
You kind of look like a Calvin Klein model back in the '90s. Remember those ones?
Oh yeah, sure.
So you bought a house. You got like a man cave or anything like that?
I have an office, which I'm not in because it's like right next to the front door and it's loud. But like, yeah, like at night, because I can't get anything done at all because I'm, during the day I got to get up early. I got baby and 2 other kids that are in school. I'm making sure they're on task with school while my wife's in the master bedroom teaching because she's a teacher. She's teaching over Zoom. So I can't be productive career-wise until literally everyone's in bed. So I'll go in, but I love it because my office, it's got, my stuff on the walls. It's nice, got a nice couch, desk, record player. So I'll just put on my records and, do what I got to get done.
People don't know this, but you collect sneakers. You're a
big sneakerhead.
You have space for all your sneakers?
I mean, I'm in the basement. We have a basement. Half of it's finished, half of it's unfinished. So they're all on a shelf in the unfinished part.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I'm trying to think what the last pair I got was. I haven't gotten a pair in a long time, and I don't see a pair on the horizon that I need. They're starting to like retro pairs that I already bought the first time they retroed it. So it's like, all right, I think really no excuse for me to buy more.
You wear them all, or you just collect them because they're...
No, about half of them I wear, half of them I don't. Not intentionally. It's hard to bring yourself to wear a nice, pristine, untouched, shoe store smelling pair of sneakers.
Does it break your heart when you get a little crease in my...
I know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so half of them are in the rotation, half of them are just in the box.
What's the most expensive ones you've ever bought?
I'm sure I have, but I try to refuse to pay more than retail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
right.
Probably $220, $250 maybe. But I sold a pair recently. It was the Air Jordan 1s, the Spider-Man.
Oh wow, those are
Spider-Verse. Because you remember that Into the Spider-Verse came out? And he wears Jordans in it. Yeah. So they released the original Jordans, but they had like dots on it, so they look kind of comic booky. And they're only $160, but they're really hard to get. But I did get them, and so I sold them for I think $500. Ooh. I held on to them for a while, and then at some point during the pandemic, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let these go, cash in on them.
When I was a kid,
always breaks my heart.
I got some new sneakers. I thought they made me faster.
Oh yeah, when I was little.
Yeah.
You try them on in the store, and Dad's like, "Let's run," and I jump, be like, "Oh yeah, I think I'm jumping higher."
I think I got 2 more inches there.
Yeah. God, kids are so stupid.
Yeah. Well, there's probably some science to it. You know what I mean?
It's a placebo effect. You think you're jumping higher, so you are. I don't know if this is a funny story, but it's true. I had a cyst in my groin.
Oof.
I don't know what from. It was just a small thing, and I was like, what the hell's that? It's like between my ball bag and my thigh, Yeah. Really small. And I showed my doctor, and he was like, oh, yeah, it's just a little sebaceous cyst. It's small. It's probably from an ingrown hair, whatever. I mean, I can take it out if you want, like slice, excise it or whatever. And I was like, I don't care. That's all right. It's not bothering me. I just want to make sure it wasn't, bad, dangerous. He's like, no, it's not. And this was, I don't know, a few months ago. And then it got bigger and red and hurt. I was like, I got to get this thing out of here. Now I'm walking around like I've shit my pants, because it's like hurts.
Yeah.
So yesterday I went in and had it taken out. So I've got like gauze on my groin from the thing. He's like, it got infected. Now I'm in even more pain, but that's just because of, here, I'll show you. This is my underpants yesterday from the blood just kind of leaking out. Looks like I got my period. And so he's like, you have to get it like packed and repacked. So there's like cloth hanging out of the wound so it doesn't seal shut. I got to go in again tomorrow. He's got to pull that out, clean it, put another thing in. So it's just been a nightmare. You ever go to the doctor and they're like, Sarah's a medical student. You care if she is in here? There's two female medical students.
Yeah.
And really on this procedure, when I gotta be naked and just lay there while you cut right next to my ding dong. My wife was like, because I told her, I was like, of course. And she was like, oh, were you afraid you'd get a boner? It's like, what? I mean, are you kidding? They're wearing scrubs. They got masks on. I'm about to do surgery. It's not, you don't just see a girl and your dick goes doing, Plus, there's a grown man with a knife right next to my dick. So there's a lot of deterrence.
Yeah, if you did get a boner over that, you need and a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. So he did everything, and then she's like, he's like, "Oh, can you bandage him?" So one of the girls had to bandage me, and I could feel she moved my wiener, and I was like, "Come on,
like this?
Really?" No, it was more like, "Give me a hand with this thing."
Yeah. I need some help here.
Can I get a spotter?
Yeah. That's funny that you bring that up because I just had a cystoscopy.
You just had a what?
Cystoscopy.
I think that's...
What is that?
It's the camera that they put into your dick.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, buddy. I hadn't even talked about this on the show yet. I was saving it. Yeah, I had some blood in my pee, and I went, and they were like, well, it could be nothing, or it could be cancer. Anywhere in between there, you know what I mean? And I was like, So I went in, and first of all, they gave me this. They pull out this big blue sheet with a hole in the center, right? It looked like a portable glory hole.
Okay. I'm familiar.
And they put it over me, and I won't give you all the details, but it hurt. Yeah, it hurt, and there was a TV screen there, and I was looking into my own dick tube.
Oh, no.
There was floaters and stuff in there. I don't know what was going on in there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Dude.
Because I've had close encounters where I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, blood or whatever in my pee. So that's been mentioned to me. I mean, it's gone away, but I can't. I have a thing about putting things in my dick hole,
It's so rare. Most people don't.
I know. That's like my little bugaboo.
Yeah.
It's some people don't like you touching their eyeball, or they don't like, that little thing under your tongue. I don't like things being shoved in my dick hole. Is there not an option? Couldn't you be like, knock me out?
It's so funny you say that because I was just listening to the Mike Birbiglia podcast that he does.
Yeah.
And he was talking about he had the same procedure and he said they put him under. And I was like, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
No, I was wide awake. There was a
Did you inquire about getting put under?
It didn't even dawn on me that it was a possibility.
I was trying to get I got a vasectomy, a while back. And I was like, I will pay. Why? Can you just knock me out? They're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that they just don't offer it. But if they had to put a camera in the hole, I'd be like, I'll just take my chances.
It hurt. And then, because it took 3 or 4 minutes, right? So it hurt pretty constantly. It was less of a pain and more of a strangeness. And get out of there. And then I was like, okay, this is what it is. This is what it is.
I just kept saying, get out of there.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, this is what it is. I'll just hold on to the sheets like this until it's done. And then he goes, okay, now here's the hard part. And I'm like, the hard part?
What was the hard part?
They get to the entrance to the bladder or something. All I know is I turned to the screen next to me and it's it looked like this. You know what I mean? It was just, and I was like, he goes,
like a butthole inside you?
Yeah, there was another butthole inside of me.
Okay.
And he goes, we just got to go through that. And I was like, right? And up to that point, I was watching the screen, but then he starts to go, and it is like a hot flash of pain. And I was like, fuck! And, yeah. Took it out and he goes, yeah, it was probably nothing. You know what I mean? He goes, I didn't find any tumors, so probably nothing. He goes, you don't have to come back. And I was like, I wasn't coming back.
Oh my God. I can't think of anything I would have to do in my life that I would be more nervous for than before that procedure.
Right.
Nothing.
No, it was bad. I tried to keep my mind off of it. Like I knew it was coming up, so I just tried to not think about it.
You know what's funny is every time like I'm looking at you, and when you're like sitting how you were sitting, it always looks like there's like a cartoon question mark above you because of the hook on the planter. So it just looks like there's like a cartoon question mark. I don't know.
What should I ask him next?
Oh my God, that's so crazy. Well, I'm glad it was nothing. Holy cow.
Yeah, it turned out to be nothing. I guess. I don't know. And then I get home, and my girlfriend was like, "Well, what'd they say?" And I'm like, "I don't know." You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't tell you right away, right? Or they did? They told you?
They did, but like I was just like, "It's over." I don't know. He said it was nothing. I guess she was like, "That's not enough information," and I was like, "Well, that's all he gave me." You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if it was like in preparation of my vasectomy or what, but I had to go in for like an ultrasound of my scrotum.
What's going on?
That doesn't seem right, but it was for maybe something was wrong with it. I don't know. I feel like I would know.
This was at a real doctor.
Anyway,
right?
But yeah, I don't know the guy in the van, but it was it's a woman technician. It's like whatever, that's fine. I didn't care. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna sit here and think about something else. And so it's like it's two women, so they're ultrasounding my balls for 15 minutes, but then they don't say anything. I'm like, so how does it, is everything okay, or does it look? And they're like, oh, the doctor, we'll send everything to the doctor. It's like, this is your job. This is what you do. You do this all. You have to know what Yeah, it's not like you're doing this and you don't know what these images are.
Yeah. Well, at least they weren't like,
oh my God, Sally, get in here. This is the most beautiful scrotus.
You gotta see this scrotum.
Girls love a good.
Turned on by scrotums.
Oh, so good.
Right?
I asked my wife that the other day.
Out there, that's like, I'm really into like a scrot.
I asked my wife something about my balls, if I have sexy balls or something. She's like, no, Jesus Christ, no. I was like, that's offensive. She was like, there is no such thing as a sexy scrotum. It looks like an internal organ that accidentally popped out. They're terrible.
Yeah, it looks like it all should be on the inside, right?
Yeah.
Like whoever designed the female body was like, let's just put it inside for like.
Yeah, for smoothness.
Yeah, it would look better inside. Whoever made men were like, whatever, it works.
Just put that turkey neck right there.
I think my balls are getting longer.
Oh, I know mine are.
Like, one day I woke up and they were like wrapped around my leg like a ball game. It looked like I lost that.
A couple squirrels were like playing. What is that called? Tetherball?
Tetherball.
Yeah.
Now I can't stop seeing that question mark.
Yeah. It's like you're the Riddler. There you go. That's the other thing, like with doing Zoom shows, is like you can, if you run out of material, you can just look in any square and start heckling the audience and be like, I can see in your house.
You can be really hacked with Zoom. I'd say one of the first Zoom shows I did, because I didn't have a microphone to hold, and I told the people that, hey, listen, I'm holding a pen. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't know what to do with my hand.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to them, doing a joke, and at some point I let my hand leave the frame, and then when it comes back, I'm holding a banana, and I just keep going, and I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Got a big old laugh. You know what I mean? So
that's possibilities.
Involved too.
Yes. Well, yeah. Here's how mature I am. Here's one of my. There you go. I don't want to keep that up there too much so people can see the pimples on my butt, but that's.
You do that sometimes? Pop that in there.
Yeah.
Good old.
You gotta. Why not?
So you said you were out on you did a cruise ship before. It had to be before.
I was on a cruise ship with Andrew, my co-host of the Cavalry. We got on February and we got off when we were on the cruise. I think that the Princess Diamond was quarantined offshore. Kristen Key, who I know her, she was on that. She's a comic that was on that. But they were quarantined. We got off, I think, March 7th, and everything. That was it. We didn't do anything after that for a while. Yeah, so we were kind of on it at the end of when things were open, and when we got off, everything was pretty much closed.
Yeah. Were the rumors going around about this thing while you were still out there, or
Oh yeah. I mean, people weren't, people weren't masking yet, but I mean, there was a big deal about,
shit.
If you see anything, report it. If anyone's sick, report it. Blah blah blah. Like they were super cautious.
Is it like a grind because you're just like always?
It is a grind. It depends. Some of them. I mean, you're on a cruise for a week and you do 2 shows. I prefer the ones like Norwegian where you're doing a show or multiple shows every night, just because. Why not? I'd rather be busy and keep my mind going and doing stuff and having fun at shows than not. It's very hard to be off the grid and away from everyone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, they pay good, but I can't even, I can't call. You got to pay for data to use the satellite internet, and it's not like you're just out of town. You're using terrible, slow satellite internet that doesn't work, that's expensive, and it's all right. I mean, it's when you're working with good people, it's fun, but it's not a vacation.
Sure. I have to take a dog toy away from my dog, or it's just going to be squeaking.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Keep this in.
Yeah, I'll keep this in.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a dog parent.
I am too.
Yeah. Your dog's name's Batman, right?
That's right. My dog. I got a pug named Batman.
How's he?
He's nice. He's got arthritis, so he's a lot slower and bigger and lazier than ever. But he's holding on. He's all right. He's 8-9 years old, I think.
What do you got to plug? You got anything to plug?
I'm just gonna plug the Cavalry, my album Battle Wounds.
Oh yeah, that's your second one, right?
The second album, yeah. I'm all over social media at Johnny Comic on Twitter and Instagram. The podcast is called The Cavalry. It's great. So that's what I want to plug, The Cavalry.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Had a blast.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And that's it for the show, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. That's it. Goodbye.
Thank you.
The Low Budget Show with Damon Millard.
I still love you.